Hi guys, it's BB. Welcome back to my channel, my beautiful monarch butterflies. I hope that all of you are having a lovely day. Alright, so in today's video we have a completed junk journaling flip through. We've got this beautiful cutie here that was gifted to me for a hashtag Christmas in July journal swap. Or I guess it's just a swap, but yeah, it was a surprise. And this was made for me by Sierra over at the Cooley Craft Corner. This is my first Golden Book junk journal created ever for me, and I'm really excited to flip you guys through this because it is just so packed full and adorable. It is so precious. It is so near and dear to me, and I had a lot of fun journaling in it. So thank you so much, Sierra. I love it. And I have other journals that I'm just about done completing, and I will be doing journaling flip throughs on those as well. Because for a while, I will say it's a little tedious to like hide addresses or private information, and I'm just scared that if I hop on camera and then all of a sudden I forgot to cover something up, you know, so I have to be very diligent with covering each and every little piece up with washi tape. And I'm telling you guys, like, I just feel it's a little wasteful with the washi. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in because I have to show you guys what we have in here. So much is filled with memories. So in the beginning, I didn't really want to cover any of this up. I just kept how she decorated it on the inside. It's so cute. And I love the whimsical papers that she picked here. And the first prompt here that I've got in my journal, my little spread here, is of my baby Paul when he turned 7 years old, so his birthday, and I attached here some vintage trim. Also, this is going to be a chatty video, so if this is like not your vibe, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Or if it is your vibe, get your popcorn, get your snacks, grab your tea, your sodas, your coffee, whatever it is that or do your laundry if you're cleaning your toilet, like, hey. Alright, so anyways, yeah, so this is my baby Paul when he turned 7, and then I did a little bit of like stenciling here, and it turned out so cute. I put happy birthday Paul here, and then I wrote a little bit about his birthday and how we went about celebrating. And then this little card here was gifted to me in Happy Mail, and it says thank you, and it's so sweet. And this is from Jennifer. She says, "Hi BB, thank you for swapping with me. I enjoyed your ATC. It's in my binder to admire." And I think either this is Jennifer from Sassy Southern NC Girl or Jennifer Lamar from Scrapbooks and Memories. It just says Jennifer, and I can't determine whose writing is whose. But moving right along, here is I'm just giving y'all a closer look at the spread because I feel like my big arms were blocking y'all a while ago. So this little polar bear was made by Paul, and the little scarf, that's how he gave it to me, so don't think that I damaged it. But I love the little paw prints. It is so precious and so cute. And then this was one of the little to and from tags that was on my baggies from like Christmas, and I kept it. It's so cute. And here we have a little tag again for one of my gifts, and I like to keep little things like this. This one was actually from Cara Mia over at Paper Confessions. She's my crafty sis. And then this is a tag that I used and created using some of the Christmas paper that my mother-in-law used to like cover my Christmas present with, and she tagged it with this. And so I just cut out the piece where she put to BB for mother, and then again I just took some ephemera there, and then I wrote a little bit about our Christmas that year on the back of that. And then here is I think this is the first letter that I received from Sierra over at the Cooley Craft Corner, and we have to be incredibly secretive, and I love how vintage her card looks, and I of course love anything that has gold gilding on it, and it's so perfect. Look how cute. This was back in 2024, so this took me a while to fill up, I feel, but then all of a sudden, like this year, I was able to complete it all because I did receive, and I was very blessed to have received several little Christmas goodies. So thank you everybody for taking the time for doing that. She put this on here. This little pom-pom trim was so fun. And then on this side, my baby actually came out in the newspaper. My baby Paul came out in the newspaper, and they featured him with Santa on here, and he played around with his little earmuffs. It was so cute. And then they wrote a little bit on here about them like talking with Santa and asking him like what they wanted and stuff. And then I just did a little bit of decoration, but I did a copy of the newspaper, and then I kept it on here for memories. It's so cute. And it's funny because my husband said that's crazy that he got featured with Santa, because I think I also have a picture on a couple days before Christmas where I was climbing a tree, and that same dude is the same dude that photographed my son. And he said that when my husband was a little boy, he was climbing one of like the trees in his front yard, playing in the snow. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he's like, I think we might have been the same age. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. All right, and so this little guy was already on here. Sierra had that to embellish this page, and it's so cute. And then this was gifted to me in some Happy Mail years back, but I did not know exactly how to go about using it, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute and I don't want to mess it up, because I think it was supposed to extend as something, I don't even remember what it is now, but it had a cute window, and you can see that you can see through the window, and I thought it would be kind of cute to pose these little guys in there from time to time if I feel like playing around with it. But this comes from Jen McDonald. So she's a sassy Southern Incy girl, and she sent me a beautiful little Christmas card. It says Happy Holidays and wishing us blessings. And then I like the little snowflake on there and the stamps that they used. And this is a little Know Me Homie. And then on the back, aren't these little gnomes precious? Adorable. Alright, and so here we have a Tractor Supply barcode and a Justin's ephemera, because my parents took Paul to go and get a little cowboy hat to match some cowboy boots that we had bought for him in October, because he was really getting into like wearing cowboy stuff. And I was like, well, he doesn't have a cowboy hat, like I wonder if he would be into that. And my parents are like, let's go get him one. So this was like one of the little tags that was on the hat itself, and I took it off after Paul told me to take it off, and then I kept it for my journal. This again was Christmas wrapping paper. I kept the little to and from tag there and embellished my page. This is one of the handmade ephemeras that Sierra made. I didn't journal on it. I thought it was cute as is. Again, I kept lots of like little tags and stuff from the baggies, from the Christmas baggies itself. And then I just thought it would be fitting because Santa's got all his Christmas gifts in the sack. And then this little car's got all the Christmas gifts in the back of the car with a little wreath in the front. It's so cute. We did like a little unboxing, almost similarly to like an advent calendar swap. And these were from Cara, and each individual packaging had a number on it. And so I was trying very carefully to remove them so that I could keep them for my journal. And I think they turned out quite nicely on this vellum sheet. And we do sorry, we do Elf on the Shelf here in the Lunsford house, and he just looks so devious. And our elf is called Melvin, And he says, I'll try not to get into much trouble while you snooze. So I just cut up into phrases because the whole page is kind of big. And so I cut up Melvin's letter, and I just thought it would look appealing right here where he's just so devious and letting you know that he's going to have fun throughout the month of December. And then here, this was one of the little things from Paul's school that said that we were getting ready to decorate a gingerbread house. And so I kept the invitation for those like who want to participate, and I was like, I want us to participate. So it was gonna look like a little gingerbread house village. It was so cute because like I thought we did a really good job. And then you can see everybody getting out of their cars, and you can see how they embellished their gingerbread houses. I was like, oh no, dude, like we ought to just forfeit because like these people are so incredibly talented. So many cute designs for gingerbread houses, many different colors, themes. It was adorable. It was so adorable. And I just wrote a little bit about our experience. I did not journal on this, and I probably should have, but I just must have forgot. And then here is little tickets for Paul's invitation to one of the little Christmas parties that they had. And so I just kept that, and they were asking for little goodies that they could basically, like give them little treats and stuff for that day. So Sierra had spoiled me with some gorgeous vintage photos, and I do mean gorgeous vintage photos. They were so pretty. As soon as I opened them, I was like, oh, no, she didn't, but she did. And I'm just so incredibly grateful because the images are so beautiful, and the women, how they dressed back in the day, I'm just so captivated by their beauty. They're just gorgeous. And then I just embellished it with one of the vintage Christmas cards that she had sent me. And this one was very delicate, but I decided to kind of break it up into 2 different sections throughout the journal. And I split it up. It was so cute. And then I went in with some very vintage, like laces for a tab there. And then these are from Hobby Lobby. I embellished it with a little bit of Hobby Lobby. And then one of my cousins performed like in a little a cappella group. Like a symphony performed as well. And I just took some of the invitation and fussy cut those out. And I just thought it paired nicely with all of this. And then here I didn't journal on this. I thought it was too pretty, and I'm scared that my writing is going to mess it up. But Sierra included this in the journal, and it was embossed. And again, one of Sierra's Secret Santa cards there. She wrote to me, being very inconspicuous with her writing. Super pretty. She writes so beautiful. And then here is an adorable image of carolers, and I can't think of the name right now. From I think it was Audiio's books. If I'm mistaken, I'll correct it here with some subtitles maybe. This comes from Jennifer Lamar over at Scrapbooks and Memories, and we ended up doing a swap for I Started, You Finish It challenge. Oh wait, where's her card? I think it might have been the one in the front here. I think it was this one. Yeah. I love the way she stamped on here. It turned out very pretty. Wouldn't you say? I like it. Her penmanship is pretty too. Alright, so for this, I didn't fit a lot of the Christmas presents, but I wanted to remember some of it, so I wrote down a little bit here. And then again, going in with like the bag tags. And then this flips up. And then I put how I spent it with my family. See, we're Hispanics, Mexicans, and we do our Christmas on Christmas Eve versus Christmas Day. And it works out because then I could split it in 2 different places. I could celebrate with my family one day and then my husband's family the next day. And then here on one of the presents that I received, the packaging was so cute. They were like cupcake jars for your kitchen. And it had a little door with a wreath on it, and I was like, I need that for my spread. I'm keeping it. So I cut it out of the cardboard and I kept it. and I thought it went perfectly with that spread. This says Warm Wishes. Again, this is Happy Mail from Cara over at Paper Confessions by Crafty Sis. And she always just floods me with beautiful, beautiful, thoughtful, happy mails. And I took some of the candy wrappers that she shared with me. Like, this is Snoopy. This is a little Snoopy candy cane packaging. I stapled it. And then as well as some of Jovi's ephemera. I'm part of her design team, THRU, so something about snow globes, they just captivate me, and I think they're so beautiful. And this had like a vintage vibe to it, and I just love a good vintage Christmas. And then I also journaled a little bit about the ornaments that came from that Advent calendar Christmas swap. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was a journaling or Christmas swap. And I do think we swapped journals. And then again, she shared cute packaging again, and I love nutcrackers. And I kept the nutcracker packaging, and I just cut it out. I know she said that she wanted it to be reusable, but I just couldn't resist, you know, cutting him out and keeping him and putting him there. He was just too perfect. And then here, some of the ephemera that Sierra sent me, and then I had some of these in my collection. They're little wooden little glittery cuties for embellishing. This comes from Cara. Some of the washi tape that she used to embellish like the box when I first got it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful washi tape. So what I ended up doing is wetting it and removing the packaging, because it had like this behind it, and so when I removed it, it came off alongside with it. So I did wet it, but it's still, I mean, it's holding really good even after having gotten wet. This is from Hobby Lobby, and I just decided to put Santa here. Here we have another card. This comes from Tanya over at Psychic Crafts. And then I attached Rosie's card from Rosie's Creative Wings. So again, there's her card. And look how vintagey it just looks, so cute. I love the ornaments. It's perfect. And Rosie's card is in here. And I think it's in here. Sorry. I got fat fingers. I can't get it out. But I love how Rosie typed it out. She it looks so adorable. I love anything typewriter. And then we got some stitching here from Sierra. She did stitching on here. How neat is that? So here we got another little flip out. This comes from Jovi. Look at that penmanship. She writes so beautiful. But this comes from Jovi. And then I've got more goodies in here. This one's the one that I received from her this year. Look at that. And you know, she does little stickles like this and if you ever watch her lives, you're gonna be so shocked at how fast she goes about just going. And she just goes like, not that she goes crazy, but I could not go that fast. I'd probably try to go fast and then smear something and mess it all up. But the way that she just does it, like, it's amazing. Alright, so here we have a cute little envelope, and then one of the stickers from Cara, it says snail mail, and I love that little snail. I used to have pet snails when I was a little girl. Now I think about it and it's kind of gross. But anyways, so this comes from Clarissa, my dear crafty sis, and Sierra already had these on there, and so I just kind of journaled around it, and I think it looks really cute. Here we have one of the bags from Mike Diaz. They don't live here, which makes me so sad, but she thinks of me every single, well, I say me, as if I'm the only niece, but I'm the favorite. I'm just kidding. Not really. I cut out her bag, and I made it into a pocket, and then I kept the little tags. And I love the way she spells my name, because, like, my name is Bianca, but she calls me Bianquita, like the way to say it in Spanish, right? And so her writing is somewhere in here. I don't remember where, but it's somewhere. This little tag is from my friend Yesenia, and I wrote a little bit about that because we did a little prank on my husband, and I wanted her to find a rock and gift it to me for Christmas, so that when my husband would see it and see this big, nasty, ugly looking rock, I would say like, oh my gosh, girl, you got me an anthro rock. Like, wow, thank you. It was a joke. It was a joke, and I was like, I don't think my husband's gonna believe it, because there's times that I have wanted to buy rocks because they look like those rocks that you crack open, and then inside it's a geode. I can't even say it, but they're beautiful on the inside. And I was like, he's gonna think that that's what it is.
It was on sale. No, seriously, dude. The last time I checked, it was like $300.
What is it?
Is it you?
What is it?
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just a rock.
You sound ungrateful.
Because although they look ugly on the outside, they're actually super pretty when you crack it open. And sure enough, that's what he assumed that it's what it was. And he's like, dang, she got you a geode. And then he was like, I think y'all are messing with me. He caught on pretty quickly. Again, from that packaging, from the glass cupcakes, the little glass cupcake jars that my sister got for me, I kept more of the packaging. Again, some more of that washi tape from Cara. Kept it, and then I just put little snowflakes and little stars to embellish it. Yeah, it truly means a lot when you guys send me y'all's beautiful Christmas cards. Here is us going to a Lubbock convention where we go to church, and basically this Christmas tree was there, and I just thought like we should take advantage of the moment and take a picture together. Last year was a super hard year, so I just felt incredibly grateful that we got to spend it together. Yeah, I just feel really blessed to have been able to take this picture here. So there's me with my mom. It was such a rough year last year, you guys. Ugh! The way that it was, it started, it was good, and then in the middle, it was just like being tested. Guys, I was being tested, but the way that it all just came together in the end, like God always looks out for us. And yeah, and here's like a little bit about how once we were all gathered together as like a family, I know it's got a big old rooster on the front, but I just put, I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. And I just feel like in that moment a song came on as we were like sitting together, eating together, and just I don't know, I feel like everybody was like, woo, we got over that. But for me, I was like, can we take a moment and just appreciate that we're all here together? But in the moment, a song came on over the radio, and it just resonated with me because it was one of those songs that I was like, oh my gosh. I would listen to it, and so when it came on, I was like, whoa, what's happening? So yeah, I just put that little quote on there because although I don't really want to get into it too much, it was such a vulnerable moment for me. And then here, me and my mom, we similarly have like the same... We like the same scents when we go looking or smelling perfumes and stuff. And so I just wrote a little bit about that when we went to the mall. This was from one of the Christmas presents that my friend Yesenia got for me. And it was an advent calendar for like lip glosses and stuff. And so I wanted to journal about that. And I think I might have on the back a little prompt there. And then again, it was like a little... from the baggies. I keep them if I can, if at all possible, because sometimes my dad will start cleaning up or my husband will start cleaning up after, everybody's unboxed stuff and they start throwing things in the trash, because I have to be very quick and take what I can. And then here, this packaging, again, from that Advent swap collaboration that was hosted by Cara. And then I took like a little envelope here that comes from my sweet friend Terry, formerly known as Terry EO1, but she recently changed her new channel name to Tellen's Place. How cute is that packaging? It's so fun. And then here we have 'Tis the Season. We have a cute, adorable little snowman and Santa with his little glasses and fat cheeks. So cute. This comes from Virginia over at Virginia Martin. She's such a sweetheart. Love her. And this is from Terry here. It has little gnomes and they're decorated in like Christmas lights. I know I'm blocking it. Sorry. She made a little handmade card here. Isn't that precious? And yeah, she just wishing me Merry Christmas. How cute is this? She also made card kits at one point, and they were so lovely. She's so crafty and talented. Very, very pretty. Here we have, what are your holiday traditions? Do you open presents on Christmas Eve or morning? When do you get your tree? Do you leave anything out for Santa? But I wrote all of that here. I don't know if you want to pause it and read it. It don't matter. And then since it was talking about Santa, I just put Santa on this side, and it's got like embossing paper. I love the way that it feels. Dairy Queen, you guys. We don't have one here where I live anymore. And the one that was nearest us was in Texas, and they took that one from us as well. It was a couple miles away from us, but still, when we found out that they took it away, we were like, no! Everything over here gets taken away from us because I feel like where I'm from, we're not very nice. And so maybe that's why, like, our businesses don't survive. Yeah. We're not very friendly. I'm originally not from here, so, yeah. Anyways, here we have some beautiful drawings for my baby Paul. He drew... Oh, I forgot to mention that I was fortunate enough to get a Blizzard. I like to get the cookie dough one. That's like my favorite flavor. Because we went to one of my son's swimming meets. They were able to compete. It was such a good day. I go with my travel buddy. Her name is Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. I doubt she watches this, but me and Stephanie will travel together. We like to karaoke in her car on the way back home and on the way down there. And we're supportive moms. Yeah, so we were fortunate enough to get to do that. And sometimes our babies get to compete together in relays, and it's so fun to watch. Like our sons together, we're like, go baby! You know, we get really, really into it. Anyways, here we have some art from Paul. Look at that! How sweet. This is Snowflake and a little mitt. Little winter mitt. And then some more of these little guys that Sierra shared. They're so pretty, those little paper ornaments. I don't even know what to call them. But they're fun to watch people make them. And then I wrote a little bit about it, how he made it, and it says create and wonder. Some of these terms I get to get them for free, like free little printables from the internet. And I wanted to have a little vellum pocket here to not take away from the image and still be able to feature one of the bows from Creating with Jovi's kits. And then again, this is for the hat. For the hat that was purchased for Paul. And then here we have, this almost reminded me of like a snowflake. So it's a beautiful applique. And every time that I whip it out from my stash, I always don't end up using it. And I'm not sure why. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to selfishly use it for myself in my journal. Because it always just makes me think of a snowflake. And it's so beautiful. And then here I have another little art piece from Paul. And they're little red cardinals. And they're little birdies. And I just love their little stick legs. It's so cute. And then I make copies of them. So I make little digitals out of them. And then I set them as my background for my phone. So if you start accumulating your children's artwork. And say, for instance, you're like, I don't know where to put them. But I still want to preserve them. Then you could put them through your printer and make printables out of them. And then you can print them out as many times as you want. So yeah, I just did a little bit of a light embellishing. And then here I got chocolates and fun little goodies for Paul's little advent drawers. I actually have a short from last year where there's like little drawers and they're very tiny. It's so hard to find items to put in those little tiny drawers because hardly anything fits in them. But I decided to go with chocolate and fun tasting jelly beans, and I journaled about that a little bit there. And the year before that, my daddy helped me get some with like the little coin machines, so I gave him like over $20 because there's, you know, they do it for 25 days, and my daddy helped me with that, which was awesome. But this year I was like, I gotta figure out, I gotta change it up, you know. And then here again, I keep little tags like this, and then I embellish this with a little fun tab. It was supposed to be, I think, like a table mat little, or a runner, I can't remember now, but maybe a curtain, who knows. And then on this side, this year I was gifted pistachio dark cherry goat milk soap. And is this packaging not the cutest? Like, it is so adorable. I love it. I don't know if I put anything in there. This was made by Paul, and he couldn't fit our whole last name, so he just, you know, did a little bit for what he could. And then I wrote down a little bit about his birthday. So cute. And my sister, she's so talented. She can make cakes and cookies and cake pops, and she is like the baker of the family, and she made amazing cookies. They were the ones that I featured here in the front, and that's a Thor cookie. I don't know if you guys can tell, but she made it in the shape of the 7, and then she added a Thor hammer. She did several, like Iron Man and all the superheroes, because we wanted all superheroes, even if they were like Avengers and Marvel. Like, we didn't care. I was like, just have fun with it. And then my sister-in-law did the cute little invitation that you saw here. She did that invitation, and then again wrote some more about his birthday. And then it's funny because whenever me and Sierra did our swap, me and her both incorporated I Spy Something, which was crazy. And we weren't told to make a journal for each other, but we both ended up making a journal for one another. And there was a lot of similarities within the swaps that we were doing. Although hers, oh my gosh, you guys, like I was like, girl, you probably need to send me my package back. Like, mine doesn't come close to what she sent me at all. I felt so bad. Here's a little fun tab with little pom-poms. I added this, and I've always told myself I'm going to use it, and I never do. And I was like, I'm going to put it in my journal. She did this little flip up here and shared some of these fabrics, but I didn't want to journal under this at all. It's just cute the way she did it, and I don't want to mess with it. I love it. And then on this side, we've got, again, one of her cards. For this is probably the last one where she's supposed to reveal herself. And look at that card. Isn't that pretty? It's a art piece by Richard Burns. As I start accumulating these, I start putting them in like packaging until I can find a spot for them, and I ran out of room. So if I didn't get you this year, you'll definitely be in the journal next year. Please just be patient with me. I've ran out multiple times with journals. Like, if they're single signatures, they obviously run out quicker, you know? But yes, if I didn't get you this year, I will definitely get you next. This was, we went to the Legion, and we've got like little tickets here that they were doing like a little cake auction, and then they also did like fundraisers and stuff like that, and I ended up winning a prize, so I kept my ticket. I won a little speaker, and I gave it to my son Gisele, because he goes on trips for like swimming. Yeah, he's a little athlete, and so I told him, like, when you're in your hotel room, maybe you and your guy friends can, like, you know, turn up or listen to rain sounds before bed or something. And then I didn't mess with this at all. I did a little bit of journaling on this tag here. Yeah, wrote a little bit about the cake auction there. Moving right along. Here's the other piece for that card, that beautiful vintage card, and it's textured. It's adorable. That Sierra gave me, and I just did a little collaging with it. Love how it turned out. And then on this side, again, some more of those vintage photos that she sent me in swap. Isn't she gorgeous? Look how beautiful she is. Ah, I love vintage photos. I don't even know who you are, ma'am, but you're so pretty. And then I had a little play with some pens that I got, and I wrote down December, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the way it turned out. And then here we have, again, some happy mail from Clarissa over at Paper Confessions. And then she sent me this adorable sticker, and I love the look of the little Santa Claus. He just looks very cartoony and precious. Like, I really like it. Like, I don't think she understands how much I like those stickers. I try to tell her, but like, I mean it. They're so cute. One of her little cards. Look at that reindeer wearing a sweater. Are you kidding me? And then his antlers have ornaments coming down from it. It's so cute. This came off of a snowman that was like, okay, they were, you know how donuts, those white little donuts, powdered donuts? Well, this one came in a set of 3, which is perfect because then you can imagine a powdered donut snowman. It was so cute. If I have a picture of it, I'll show you guys here somewhere. And that was the little hat, and I kept the hat and I put it right there. Again, with our little I Spy. I thought I was so good at these. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna find everything. Did anybody else enjoy these? And word finds. I love word finds. Alright, so here we have, again, Sierra's little page that she already pre-embellished and just worked around it. And or sometimes I did stick them back up and then try to keep them on the same page, but just move them around so I could fit stuff. This comes from Corn over at Cornflower Crafts. Her and her husband, oh my gosh, they're so adorable. I love them. She makes gorgeous journals, gorgeous handmade cards, and like amazing fake bakes and gnomes. Like, she is your girl if you wanted to make fake bakes. And they are so funny. Alright, moving right along, we have a gorgeous Christmas card. And I think this came from Jovi. Yes, from Jovi. And look at that little gem on there. Like, ah, so cute. I love the way she writes. Teach me, Jovi. Show me your ways. And then there's, again, like, little stickles. It makes me wonder if she did them, because, like, that's really how good she is. Like, she's so good at those darn stickles. Is there something in here? No. Okay. I didn't do much journaling on this, evidently. And then here, this comes from Gisele Parker, and her channel is It's Paper and Glue, y'all. I love saying it. Her channel name is so adorable. I hope that she is well. But this was one of the cards that I had that I hadn't journaled yet, but I finally have gotten a chance to journal in it finally. So yeah, she did a little Peanuts card, and they're textured. These little guys are textured. Like, I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, but I love the feel of that. They're embossed, I guess would be the word. Precious. Alright, so this is a little gingerbread swap collaboration that I did a while. It's been a little bit already, and I kept it, and I didn't do much journaling because I just thought it was cute just the way that it was, and I just thought it just came together so nicely. It's very interactive, but it comes from Creative Eyes ×3. And then I put her little handmade card right there. And she's just like got angel wings. She's got a little bell, a little candle, and she just looks cozy. I love her boots. She writes so pretty. Look at that penmanship. Very pretty. Here is one from Jovi again. She makes cute handmade cards, and then this says Merry Christmas. I must have taken this off of packaging because I can kind of see a little bit of remaining stuff up there. But yeah, so this opens up. She did some gorgeous stenciling there. Look at these little girls. So cute. Yeah, I can't get them out. But yeah, I left her little goodies in there. And then here we have another one of the little cards that Cara has sent me with Santa and the reindeer. And they're riding those big old bikes. I don't even know what to call them. It says ho ho ho, and this is supposed to be from Melvin. For Paul, he left him a greeting to say that he's back. So that's the one that I said I had cut apart, and then to try to figure out how to fit it all throughout the journal, sprinkling it in, because that's how it goes with Melvin. It's just every single day, like, you do something different, and you just never know what he's gonna come up with. And Melvin had put little hats on our heads in our pictures, and so Christmas wrapped up and everything, I was putting everything away, and I started taking off the little hats that Melvin had comically put on our heads in the pictures and our family photos. And Paul's like, no, what are you doing? And I was like, I was removing them. He's like, no, don't you ever remove those. Like, don't ever mess with Melvin's stuff. Like, he worked so hard on those. Don't take those off. I was like, my bad. Okay. So I left the ones that they're still up there. But anyways, I got in trouble for taking them off. My bad. This is Merry Christmas. And again, this is from Cara Mia. Beautiful card. And I love Peanuts. Snoopy's smile just gets me. How can you not look at Snoopy and not smile? And then there's some more of those stickers that she sent me. And I just love whoever makes these. Like, I think they're so adorable. I'm just knocking everything. I'm so sorry. I'm like a bull in a china shop. Alright, so here, this is a little birthday certificate that was gifted to Paul. But she messed up on his birthday. His birthday's in December, and she wrote November. I don't know why. She was stuck in November, I guess. But I thought it was cute. He even got like a birthday hat, and it was a paper hat, of course, but nonetheless, my baby was so happy. It was so cute. Me and my mother-in-law got together, and we got them cupcakes, or cookies, and they were big cookies. They were like this big size cookies, and the kids loved them. And it was so crazy to hear Paul talk about like who got what, and he remembered what each of his friends ended up picking, because they had some that had like a Christmas tree, and I think one, I don't even remember, mitten. There was like a Christmas tree, a mitten, and then there was something else, maybe an ornament. I don't remember now, but he would if I asked him. And then my daddy, the way that he writes, and he put Bianquita, and I just think it's so special to me, just seeing the way my daddy writes. And here's another thing. My daddy, he has one arm. My dad is so talented that he could literally wrap our Christmas gifts. How does he do it? I want to be a fly on the wall and watch him as he does it, but I don't want to weird my daddy out, and and he'd be like, what are we doing here? What'd you say you wanted to do? And just be like, I just want to watch you. I just want to watch you wrap the gifts. So no, I haven't asked him if I can one of these days just watch him, because there have been years in the past where my daddy would be like, can you wrap these for me? And of course he'd be holding the tape, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, I don't mind it. But sometimes my mom needs help, and my dad will get in there and help her, and I just think that is so cute. So here, oh my gosh, I scratched off the paint. Tonta. Okay, so here, this is my tia. This is how my tia writes, and she goes, para Bianquita de tia Maria. And she gives me Jaffer goodies. She spoils me. She thinks of me every year, and it just warms my heart. Alright, so here we have a little handmade card that Paul made, and it's a little puppy dog with some vellum stickers, and I just love the way that he made that. This was the snowman that I was telling you about with the powdered donuts. I took his scarf and I just stapled it on here. And then I journaled about it here. And he said that they did an alphabetical activity exercise thing, and he ended up winning a prize, and so I journaled about that. And then here's one of the tags that Sierra made. Super cute. Love her hat. I would totally wear that. And then here I decided to keep some of the stickers and stuff from the envelopes, from the Christmas envelopes that Jovi has sent me, and or the way some of you guys write. Like, I just wanted to do something with those. And then here this flips out. It says warm. Can you stop? This says warm wishes. And this is from Callie. Oh my, Amy Porter, Callie Texan. She also has a YouTube family. She does little vlogs and stuff, and she takes you on trips with her and her babies. Be sure to check her out. I'm going to be linking her down below. And she's so pretty and fun. So this is like a little memory I wrote down about like Salvation Army and a toy run night one night when we were just like hanging out in the living room, and then we got a surprise visit from the firefighters. Like, I could remember seeing the lights shining through our curtains, because like our curtains were kind of like I think like similar to this, you know, you could still kind of see the light shining through the curtains and stuff. And I was like, what's going on out there? They knocked on our door and they brought us gifts. Oh my gosh, I was so touched. I think it's so very nice that they do that for people. And then again, once I was like pregnant with Paul, later on, like years down the line, my husband, Gisele, and myself, we were all just hanging out at home one day, and then again the firefighters came and knocked on our door and they brought us gifts that year. And still to this day, even my son remembers that. So whenever he remembers that and talks about having remembered that, I'm just like, oh, like, so it means like a lot to families. And I don't know if families do talk about their experiences with that, but like, it really warms my heart to have been fortunate enough to have received those blessings. And then here I did a little bit of embellishing on one of the envelopes that Cara sent. And then I used some of the Happy Mail ephemera that they sent, like little fussy cats and stuff. And I won't show this one. I won't show that picture because I don't know how their fiance or their wife is gonna feel. This is gift packaging from my friend Yahide, and I kept it. Again, I started removing the stickers off of the gifts and just made a little collage with them, as well as some of the stamps. This is a bunny rabbit, and it looks like an otter in snow, and I just kept those. They're very, very pretty. This is me journaling about one December, one of my aunts, she used to come and pay us a visit at random. Sometimes we just never knew like when she was going to come. And on this particular year, my dad's like, let us sing for you. And she was one of my mama's sisters, and she was one of the baby sisters on my mom's side. And my daddy was like, can we sing for you? Can I have the kids sing for you? And I was like, Dad, come on. And my brother would play guitar. And he's like, Bernie, go get your guitar. And he's like, all right, Dad, all right. And we sang a song by Aaron Schust. And still to this day, I can't sing it. It breaks my heart. It reminds me of her. And what she said after is what really got to me. And it's called My Savior Loves, My Savior Lives. And she was actually listening to the lyrics. Because I think sometimes we get caught up in melodies, you know, and we don't really pay attention to lyrics. But she did. She paid attention to the lyrics. And she said, oh my gosh, you guys, that was so beautiful. Like, I loved and enjoyed that so much. When my day comes, I want you guys to perform that song for me, please and thank you. And I was like, oh, Tia, please don't talk like that. Like, don't talk like that. Like, no, you have many, many years. But not long after that, she passed away, and I remember her very distinctively having requested that song. And I had to bring myself to sing it, and I'll tell you guys what, it was, I didn't even finish her song. I really couldn't. I kept profusely apologizing just because, like, I tried to get through it, and I just, here I am being vulnerable with you guys. But, and it's just little moments like that, like, I'll never forget that December, that Christmas. And then on this side, my aunt, again, on my daddy's side, here's just the way that she spells my name. She spells it different every time. And I love it. I think it's cute. So yeah, I just kept the little stickers, little tags from the Christmas baggies that my daddy wrapped. And then here we have some happy mail from Melissa Davis over by Mimi with Love. And so here's her little card. She made a handmade one, and look how chunky he is. Santa is so cute in pink. Ah, so cute. Look at the poinsettias. And she writes so beautiful. Look at that. Adorable. And in the background, I don't know if you guys can kind of see, but there's a Santa in the back. I was like, yep, it's going on that page. Alright, so here we have the other side of that gingerbread house, if you guys remember from earlier. And I couldn't fit Santa this way, so I had to turn him this way. But I think this might have been a tuck spot or some cutout ephemera from Sierra, and I just decided to keep it in that little pocket there. And then you guys remember me talking about the powder donut snowman. This was the baggie that I picked out because when we were walking in to get my oldest son Hasiel's his braces were gonna get removed, and we were greeted by like this basket, this wicker basket full of like these powdered donuts with these cute adorable baggies. My son grabbed one and I grabbed one. And yeah, I just kept the little bag and I stapled it on here because I don't want to lose it. And then I journaled about that, but we were so excited to get his braces removed, and it was such an exciting moment for us because after they removed them, I told him, be prepared to feel the sliminess of your teeth, because now you have nothing to like run your tongue across. Like now they're just naked. And just getting his reaction was hilarious. And then afterwards they came back and they had this big old cup full of just treats and snacks that he once upon a time couldn't have, like popcorn or like sticky candy or like Jolly Ranchers, things like that. And I was like, bro, those are things that you could not, they told you not to eat in the beginning. I was like, and now you finally get to eat them again. And he was like, heck yeah. He was so happy. He was so happy. And then at the end of that, they give you ice cream for their patients, which I think is wonderful. And then here again is one of Cara's envelopes. Kept it. And then here we have another fun little card. This comes from Dale. My husband tends to call her Grandma Linda because when Dale talks in her videos, he says that she sounds like his Grandma Linda. And so here, a little ongoing joke, she refers to herself as AKA Grandma Linda. She's like our grandma, our YouTube grandma, YouTube granny. She's so cute. You can find her over at Not Too Shabby Chic. Yeah, and I've gone this whole entire video, guys, and I not once said that this is a journaling flip through Friday, which is hosted by Gwen the Trash Witch. Oh my gosh, I have horrible memory. But yes, be sure and click on the hashtag for Flip Through Friday, which is hosted by Gwen the Trash Witch. If you're not subscribed to her channel, be sure you head on over there and subscribe to her channel as well. Okay. Here, I think this might be from the Ideals book. From the Ideals book that Sierra put in here. So gorgeous. And then they did a second grade holiday party for Paul, but he forgot to give me the tickets. And when he got back home, there was like an incredible amount of like goodie bags that he was gifted. And I kept the packaging from one of the mothers, the way that they decorated the baggies. And I just took the ribbon and I just made a cute little ruffle here. And I think it turned out really cute. It goes great. I love it. It's like one of my favorite pages on here. And then here it says good tidings of great joy. This is like full of peanuts, you guys. Like, isn't this so cute? And this is from Gisele over at Is Paper and Glue, y'all. And then here I kept this packaging from my friend Yahida, and I did a little collage here. And then the envelope itself is from MJ Reyes. I call her my YouTube tia, and you can find her over at My Paper Journey. She made this gorgeous little handmade card, and she printed out this cute little message. Isn't that precious? See, it's all the way from back in 2022. So, like I said, if I don't get to your happy mail in a specific journal, please do not feel bad. I will eventually journal your happy mail. I swear. Okay, and here's our fat little Santa again. He is so adorable. And then here I tucked in Paul's little wish list, his little Santa Claus wish list. Dear Santa, he says, hello, my name is Paul. I think he meant to say, how have you been doing? I've been a good boy, he says. The elf you sent, he is funny, and I want a new robot hand for the left. So Paul got like these hands that you can build, and of course I think it was just very tedious that even like my husband was building it, and he was like, dang, like they make it sound like a child could build this. Like, no, this has got too many intricate like little rubber bands and stuff. Like, there's no way a child could build this. And so he built the hand for him, but Paul, my son, is left-handed, and so he has to use it on the right hand. But he was like, I'm more accustomed working with my left. So could you give me a left one? And I just think that is so funny and cute. Oh, so I had to keep his little letter. And then him talking about Melvin, it just warms my heart. This is so cute, you guys. Like, how could you not want to keep something like that? So here we have packaging from a cookie box. It says Cookies Without Limits, and we have a cookie crave here where we live, and they had certain cookies, different flavors and stuff, and I was like, we gotta try them. So one of the ones that we got to try were Nutella Cinnarol, which was the one that my oldest Hasiel picked out. He loved it so much. He's a big fan of Nutella. And then I got the Grinch for my husband because he's a Grinch. Number 3 was for Paul. We picked a holiday M&M because he loves M&Ms. And then for me, I did a red velvet Oreo, and oh my gosh, so good. Oh, and we also got a freebie since it was our first time. We got a chocolate turtle one that we could share. I had to cut them into pieces because they're so big. I'm trying to think back of the flavors in my mouth, like yeah, oatmeal. I didn't realize like how good oatmeal would taste in a cookie like that. Delicious with M&Ms. Alright, so here we have a brain, little art piece that Paul drew, and he is working out. Those are weights, and he's getting stronger. He said that it was a brain and he had weights. You can see he's got them over his little brain, you know, over his little head, and he's wearing glasses. Like, how cute is that? It's adorable. All right, so on here, this year I made spool decorations, like spool ornaments for the family. They turned out super cute. I did a short on them, and I decided to share them with the family. I had specifically made some for my YouTube friends, but we were kind of short on funds, and I unfortunately wasn't able to send them out in Happy Mail, but I'm gonna try next year to send them for Happy Mail, or maybe save them for Christmas in July. That'd be cute, huh? Alright, so yeah, I kept the little thread bobbin thing on the top, and then this was set in Happy Mail, and I decided to keep it down there to kind of balance out the page. And then so here they did Paul's school did like a Disney themed little musical, and Paul got a part in it. Like, the teacher reached out to me and she told me, hey, Paul's been selected for a piece in the program, and I just want him to memorize his lines going into the performance, okay? So, like, he's got, like, 3 days or 4 days, 3 or 4 days to memorize it. And guys, I tell you what, by the time that we left the school and we went across town to drop him off at his grandma's, he had already learned it. I was like, oh my God, we are getting you a McFlurry. He performed it 2 times and they were so proud of him. They were so proud of him. And I was like, I want to know why you were selected. Like, what made them select you? And he was like, I don't know, Mom. Like, quit asking so many questions. I was like, my bad, dude. I just want to know. And so his line for the Disney performance was,
Neverland shore, Peter shouts with delight, where pirates and mermaids dance throughout the night.
oh, my man, you got this. To Neverland's shore, Peter shouts with delight, where pirates and mermaids dance through the night. And then she wrote his name, Paul, right My there. Friend, the one that I was telling you guys about earlier, Stephanie, my travel buddy for the swimming meets for my oldest son, she's the music teacher for Paul. And she was like, yes, so basically the way we went about selecting who was going to have a line in the program was based off of who are the best readers in the class. And I was like, oh? I was like, my son's an awesome reader. So it was just like a proud mommy moment. I'm being a little boastful about that, but like, I think it's a good thing. All right, and so here, this is a swimming page where my son won first place for diving. I was so proud of him, you guys. I kept his little sheet here about all the different, and he qualified. He qualified for state, so he will be state diving this year. And I'm so proud, you guys. I'm so, yeah. I'm such a proud mom. Like, we have one more year of this, and then next year he's gonna be a senior. Ooh. I know. So if you guys got like any tips for children, or big children that have graduated, like, send the tips my way. I would love that, because like, it's gonna be so hard. But yeah, so these are like his different attempts for like his swimming or his dives, his new dives that he's trying. And this is his first year diving. So I just remember him telling me when he first started, like when the coach was watching him, because like he trampoline jumps all the time. And so she's like, hey, Gisele, come here. She's like, I want you to try to dive. And just for giggles, you guys, he got up on that diving board and he did a qualifying dive. The first attempt. And she goes, we're keeping you. She's like, you are a diver. We're gonna have you dive. Okay? He's like, wait, what? Like, I could have qualified with that jump. She goes, we could clean it up a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, that was a qualifying dive right there. And so, who would have thought that all the years of trampoline jumping and backward flips and front flips and whatever other flips and tricks that he does on there would have paid off in the end. Like, he's a whole diver now, you guys. Like, amazing. I'll probably put like a clip here so you guys can watch a little bit of it, because like, how could I not share that? He's amazing. And then here, just writing a little bit more about his dive meet and how I felt, and how they announced his him having won first place, and then congratulating him on qualifying. And because you got to gather up as many points as you can, you accumulate them until you make it to state. And then here's a little bit more of like Salvation Army memories. I just remember one time asking my dad, because like my dad would always give us quarters for like the quarter little slot machines and stuff. And that time we were approaching the entryway of Walmart, and they have those little bells that they ring. And I asked my dad, can I have a quarter? He goes, what do you want it for? And I was like, huh? Like, why is he asking me? Like, what's it for? I was like, because I want to drop it in the bucket, Daddy. Like, can I have a quarter or what? And I'm just kidding. I didn't say it like that. But my dad's like, no. And I was like, oh, what? Why? I was like, why can't I have a quarter to drop in the bucket? And my dad was like, because that money comes back to us. Like, that's what they use to buy you guys your gifts. Like, when Christmas comes. And then it hit me. I was like, oh yeah, we're Salvation Army folks. But anyways, I wrote about that because I just think it's kind of cute that, like, my dad had never denied me a quarter. Ever. So for him to have told me no, like, I was like, what? I think that's what that one is. And then here is a tag that was created by Jovi, and I thought it would be fitting to put in this journal because she's got a little fat angel. Precious. And then I think I purchased something off of Poshmark, or this was gifted to me in some Happy Mail, I think. Yeah, and I put that in there because look at that. That penmanship is just gorgeous, unless it's a stamp. But here we have some wrapping paper that I kept. And it's got the little tapes and where the corners were folded, and I just love how that adds character. That's so cute, you guys. I love this journal. I can't help but smile when I flip through it. And then this comes from Billie, over at Craft and Cake for Billie, and she sent me this beautiful card. It says Christmas Wishes with a puppy on there holding a stocking. And there is her YouTube, Craft and Cake with Billie. Be sure and check her out too. She's a wonderful, talented baker. She makes a lot of handmade crafts as well, and I think she also did hauls, if I remember correctly. And then there's Sierra's Maker's Mark. Listen, you guys, I'm really sorry that this was long, but I'm really glad that I did this because I want for my kids to be able to look back at my videos, if ever one day they find these in the attic and they just want, like, monologue to go with it as they're flipping through it and listening to the video. And yeah, I just think it's so I just envision that that's what who knows what they're gonna do, honestly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for taking time out of y'all's day to watch this video, because y'all could have spent it doing anything else, but the fact that you chose to spend time with me, thank you so very much. I hope that you guys have a lovely rest of y'all's day. Y'all please take care. Again, please be sure to check out the hashtag for I sounded like a duck, for Gwen the Trash Witch, the hashtag Flip Through Friday. All right, you guys, y'all please take care.